Hey everybody, I'm Justin with AmericanMuscle.com, and this is my detailed review and install of the Gibson aluminized steel 3-inch single exit cat-back exhaust system, available for your 2015 and newer 3.5 liter EcoBoost powered F150. All right everybody, in this review, expect to hear my thoughts on the sound profile you can expect with the Gibson here on your EcoBoost powered F150. I'll briefly talk materials and construction and price, and then finally, we're gonna break down the install for you. And if you have a Super Crew F150 with a 5.5 foot bed, this is gonna be a direct bolt-on installation here, no modification needed, no cutting, so an easy 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, with some more detail coming up later on. So the Gibson system that we have in this video is going to be a great choice for the EcoBoost owners out there looking to adhere to a very strict budget, but would still like to increase the overall volume or presence of their EcoBoost in the process. Now don't get it twisted guys, this is not going to be the loudest or the flashiest system out there. In fact, it's far from it, but it's going to deliver a solid build quality given the very budget-friendly materials, and it's going to deliver on its #1 objective of increasing the volume of your EcoBoost powered rig. Now, as I just pointed out, Gibson is going to be one of your more affordable options in the land of aftermarket exhaust systems. Case in point, this guy right here, hovering right around the $400 price point, which is just crazy affordable in the world of aftermarket exhaust systems. A little backstory on Gibson: they've been around for a couple of decades now, producing systems for a wide variety of vehicles, but also of course the Mustang and the F150, with the #1 goal of increasing the sound, increasing the performance, but not for a whole lot of dough. But this is an exhaust after all, so let's break down some sound here with the Gibson, and honestly guys, I thought it was pretty enjoyable overall. Listen, I know the deal. I'm an EcoBoost owner myself. I know a lot of us would prefer to keep the sound down as much as possible, and if that sounds like you, well then the single exit Gibson will certainly be one of your better options out there. Breaking out my Wake the Neighbor scale, I'm going strong 2 out of 5 here on my 1 to 5 or 1 to Wake the Neighbor scale. Just a little bit more sound, a little bit more tone on the exterior. Same goes for the interior as well. To be honest with you, at this point, I'd say the Borla Touring or the Ford Performance by Borla Touring is probably going to be slightly tamer than the Gibson, but it's very close overall. Now that mild tone is shaped by Gibson's signature Superflow SFT muffler here, a muffler they use with a lot of their systems, and it's something that is going to feature a combination of both baffles and chambers, keeping the sound in check and process, as you guys heard with our sound clips. Now Gibson does also claim that this thing increases volume efficiency, which is going to help increase your volume or your flow of your exhaust, increasing your performance slightly, but it does so in a way without any packing, which can sometimes burn out or burn in over time, changing the sound of the exhaust. But let's switch our focus to the construction and materials here with this particular Gibson, and as I mentioned at the very top of this video guys, this is going to be a super affordable system, so don't look forward to the premium 304 grade stainless that you might find with a system 3 times the cost of the Gibson here. Instead, you're looking at aluminized steel, a great material, but yes, one that is very budget friendly. It's going to perform just as good as any of those high quality or high price materials, but it's not going to offer you the same level of protection from corrosion as the 409 or 304 grade stainless steel. So for that reason alone, if you live in a snowy climate, if your truck sees a lot of road salt during the winter months, spend the extra $100. Gibson makes pretty much an identical system to this, but with full stainless steel construction that will definitely help you a little better to prevent corrosion. Aluminized steel aside, you're going to be looking at 3-inch mandrel-bent tubing here for this system, all exiting out the 4-inch tip, rolled edge, and polished to a nice bright shine. Now the tip itself is actually made from 304 grade stainless steel, so that guy should remain looking good for many years to come. I do want to point out, guys, this is a very factory-like system in appearance. It's going to exit in the factory location, and honestly, when it's installed in the truck, it really looked like a factory exhaust system, but again, with just a little bit more sound and maybe a little bit more performance. If you're going for a more wild appearance, this isn't going to be the system for you. However, Gibson does offer a dual split rear exit system that you can find here on the site. Should sound pretty similar because it's going to utilize the similar muffler, but it's going to cost you just a little bit more because obviously there's a little bit more material involved. Getting back to that install as promised earlier, if you have a Super Crew F150 with a 5.5 foot bed, this one isn't going to test you in the least. So 1 out of 3 wrenches is what you can expect as far as overall difficulty, maybe an hour tops to get this thing onto your truck. Now, because this is a direct bolt-on modification, don't expect to break out the cutting tools like the Sawzall or anything like that. Instead, you're really just looking at a basic socket set to remove the factory catback and get the new Gibson in place. For being one of the most affordable systems on the site, the Gibson single exit aluminized steel catback makes a strong case for the EcoBoost owners out there who'd like to upgrade their exhaust, but really not spend a whole lot of dough in the process. The sound is good without being over the top. The materials and construction, while affordable, are certainly worthy of the new F150. And last but not least, you do have a limited lifetime warranty on your side, just in case you do ever run into any issues. So that is my review of the Gibson single exit aluminized steel catback, which you can find right here at AmericanMuscle.com.